Welcome everybody to beautiful Mission Bay Yacht Club. It is 2021 and every year a group of boats go over to Catalina, to two harbors, and I decided to put together a video to give some helpful hints on going to Catalina. I'm Eileen Turk. I'm the current fleet captain, the cruising fleet captain, and we'll introduce you to some members of the yacht club that have some tips and advice. Here we go. Okay, come.
Dick Statler. I joined Mission Bay Yacht Club in 1970 to save on my slip rent. And I've saved a hell of a lot of money since then. And I've been going to Catalina since before I joined the yacht club. Many times a year back in the old days. Now it's once a year. So, a couple tips: make sure your boat's working properly, engines are working, and everything is fine with your boat. And then also try to take enough fuel along, because fuel is expensive in Catalina, $8–9 a gallon. Okay?
Okay, I'm Tom Troublehorn. I've been a member in early 80s, probably, don't quite remember when. And didn't start going to Catalina till about 20 years ago. So it's been a little bit. As far as getting your boat ready, lots of things to do. My first time, I had some engine problems and had quite experience at Avalon. But my suggestion and tip is walk through every item on your boat that you want to work: your stove, your oven, your bilge pump, your fuel lines. Sanitize the water tank is a good one. Something you need to do. Most people don't do that. It's a big one if you use water. And have fun.
Donald F. Krebs.
Ex-Commodore.
Catalina?
Oh, former
I went to
Commodore.
Catalina when I was a lifeguard at Cabrillo Beach. That was a long time ago. I don't remember which years it was.
Before.
In the 40s?
Before me, that's for sure.
What year was you coming?
Well, Dawn, I spoke to your wife, and she said in 1969, the Krebs and the Lynches and I think 2 boats went the first year. And then every year after that, a few more boats went, a few more boats went, and a few more boats.
I don't remember too well, but you're right.
And so this girl was just a little tiny tot back in the day. She was probably just a few years old.
Yeah.
When,
Susan Krebs.
right?
And so if you have kids, bring your surfboards, bring a face mask, bring some fins, because the water is beautiful over there. You go to Cherry Cove or to Emerald, these places are just really nice to go, and hiking shoes to go on the shore, because we all got to get away from our parents
We
sometimes.
used to have one.
I'm Lou Bedford. I joined the yacht club in 1948 and been around for a while. Started going to Catalina 1975 on a Catalina 25, and then bought a trawler in 2000, and been going to Catalina since that time. And my advice is, if you go to Catalina, be sure to have vessel assist, just in case you might break down, which has happened quite a few times. Thank you.
Unfortunately.
Excellent. Yes, Boat USA or Tow Assist.
I'm his love child from one of those trips.
What's your name, sir?
Jim. Tell your name.
One of the fun activities we do over in Two Harbors is have dinghy parties. So we'll be putting together a schedule for almost every day. We'll have a dinghy party and another boat will hold it. So let's say the Turks will do Tuesday, the Hammonds will do Wednesday, the Krebs will do Thursday. And what we do is dinghy or kayak or paddleboard over to the back of the boat, bring your own refreshments, and we just have a gathering to talk about all the fun we're having over there, I should say, in Two Harbors. So looking forward to seeing everybody this summer, and we'll hear more from everybody else in just a minute. In other news, one suggestion might be to make a menu for your week or 2 weeks that you're going. I know this really helped me to kind of lay out, what I'm going to be having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, cheese and crackers, and all that jazz. Because from the menu, I made my shopping list. And then what I ended up doing, and we have some room on our boat to do this, not everybody does. I bought those plastic crates at Walmart, and I could actually put all my food in there, clear plastic crates, and that way I could see what I had. And I could keep my dry goods in one bin, canned food in another bin. Be sure to buy ice when you're back here on the mainland, because it sure is expensive at the little local store there. And try and use up your food that's going to go bad quicker. And that helps in planning your menu too, to use foods that are going to expire before you get a chance to use them. All right, just some tips, and stay tuned for more.
Okay, I'm Tom Troublehorn back again. A couple more hints. Like I said, I've been going for well over 20 years. We've been taking our grandkids since they were 3 weeks old. And 5, 6 people on the 30-foot sailboat Newport for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we packed pretty good in there, and everybody gets along. Obviously, you got to be family. But a couple things to remember is, again, make sure everything works before you leave the dock, because it's not going to get any better out there. We first year went with the club and up to Dana, and after that. Have a lot of times gone at night, overnight. The weather's fine. You have great visibility, and you get there in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock, noon, right when everybody's leaving on Sunday, when they have to check out, so you get the first chance of moorings. So that's my suggestion, is leave on Saturday night, get there Sunday morning, and you get the first chance of moorings on Cherry Cove.
Hey, Tom, I've got a question for
Yeah.
you. Let's say, usually my husband is the captain of the boat. Should I look into taking like an emergency class?
I think that's a great idea.
Just in case I'm in
understanding
charge?
man overboard procedures, just how to stop the boat and turn it around. Very important. How to talk on the radio is another thing that's you got to practice that. So you kind of get tongue tied the first time you do that. So big part of the check-in in the morning, and the overall fleet conversation is a good way to do that.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Paul Johnson. Kathy and I have 4 feet, a 36-foot unified. We've been members of this club since 2009. We've been going to Catalina with this group since about 2005. And we've been every year, with the exception of the last few years, we haven't been able to make it. But some of the things that I'd like to go over with you is, I think one of the most important things is boat preparation, making sure that your boat is ready for the trip. It's about an 80-85 mile run from here up to 2 harbors. For us, it's about, most people it's a 10 to 12 hour run, depending on how fast, you can make it. So the main thing is, if you haven't had your boat on a longer trip, run your boat as much as you can. Make sure that all the systems are working. Important things before you take the trip, make sure that your oil should be changed, filters are changed. Have spare filters. Your fuel, especially for diesel rigs. If your boat's been sitting at the dock for a long time, the diesel has a tendency to break down and get algae and stuff in it. If you've got a lot of fuel on board, you may want to consider maybe having it polished before you go and clean. Have spare filters. I don't know how many people have gotten halfway through the passage and their filters plug out. So if you've got spare filters, and you've got the tools, you can at least make an attempt to change your own filters. But if you do all of that ahead of time, you'll save yourself all kinds of headaches. Your boat equipment, make sure that your radios are working and transmitting and receiving. Your antennas are in good shape, the wires are in good shape. If you've got a GPS, make sure that that's good working condition, and you know the course that you're going to take to get to what part of the island you want to go to, and have that plugged in. Autopilot, you know, if you have an autopilot, make sure that's working, because with an autopilot, the trip is usually a piece of cake. Without it, it's a lot of hand steering. Your batteries, you know, it's really easy to think your batteries are in great shape because you've got it plugged into the dock all the time, and maybe you take it and you run around the bay for an hour or two. But unplug your battery charger for a week and see what your batteries are like after 4, 5, 6, 7 days without being charged, because that's what you're going to be up there with. If you don't have a generator on board and you can get access to one, even like, you know, a little gasoline powered, these little Honda 2000s are awesome. They're quiet, they're efficient, you can charge your batteries, and if you've got an inverter system, you know, then you can run your electronics while you're at the mooring and, you know, keep your batteries up so that also your engines will start, you know, if you need to move. Quite often, you might have to move on the weekends. So be prepared to have to change moorings from one place to another. And now that we're talking about moorings, if you haven't ever picked up a mooring in Catalina, it's a very simple process. Basically, you're going to come up and you're going to see a float in the water with a whisker pole coming up. You're going to pull up, somebody on the bow is going to grab that, pull it preferably under your rigging. Come underneath, and then you're going to pull up an eyelet and attach that to your front cleat. And there's what they call a sand line that runs on the bottom of the sand, and you start running down the side of your boat, pulling that as quickly as you can, especially if you've got a crosswind, because things will change on you real quick. So run down. At the bottom of that, you're going to pull up another eye. And you should be fitted to a mooring that's comparable to your boat. So you could be a couple feet short or a couple feet long, and you might have to make an adjustment. If you got a 36-foot boat and they put you on a 36-foot mooring, you should fit perfectly. You pull that up and hook that onto your stern cleat, wherever you're going to hook that up. Be prepared to make adjustments during the day, depending on the tide. If the tide changes on you quite a bit, up or down, you might have to take up a little slack or let out a little slack. If you're new and you need assistance, Harbor Patrol will help you. All you have to do is ask them if they can be available, especially with the crosswind. The crosswind really complicates things a lot. If you're going to Harbor, when you get in view about at that big white flat bird island, you can contact Harbor Patrol on Channel 9 and give them your vessel name, the size of your vessel, what your intentions are, where you want to stay. If you want to be at the Isthmus Harbor, 4th of July, Cherry, and if they have accommodations, you know, then they'll work that out with you. Usually they'll ask you to meet the Harbor Patrol boat, you know, in front of 4th of July Harbor, wherever they happen to be. And you can go in and they'll come to you and take all the information, give you your slip or your mooring assignment. And if you need help, you can ask them when they're available and they can help you get secured. As far as if you're planning on having meals and things on your boat, I know Eileen put out a list of all the things they recommend that you have. Dry stuff is great because you don't need a lot of refrigeration for it. You can keep it, it's handy. Like I said, I haven't been there for a couple of years, and I don't know what happened last summer with the COVID situation as far as the restaurant, you know, on the island. Hopefully things will be more open this year than, you know, it might have been last year. But there is a couple restaurants, cafe, bar that hopefully will be open for service. Ice is available. If you just have an ice chest or you want ice, you know, for whatever you're going to be cooling down. Water is available at the dock, so it's a good idea to bring some containers, portable containers, 3 gallon, 5 gallon, whatever you can safely, 1 gallon, whatever you can safely handle. The last time I was there, they were charging you, 75 cents for 5 gallons or something. But you can fill up and then take, and it's easier, it's always easier for us to take the dinghy in, fill up our water jugs, then unhook the boat, run the boat to the dock, and try to fill your tank in there. So, but be prepared, you may have to move, especially on weekends, because when the owners of the moorings come, you can get bumped off, you know, so that they can accommodate they can accommodate the owners. And just be prepared for a lot of fun. There's all kinds of group activities that are planned, wrapped up parties, beach parties, get-togethers. You know, it's just a week or two of a really, really good time. So I love going there as it reminds me of how I pictured California, San Diego 40, 50 years ago. You know, it's just pristine, it's beautiful. Bring hiking shoes. The hikes up there can be great. Snorkeling, your stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, wrapped up parties, you know, just all kinds of fun things to do. You can rent bikes on the island and go for mountain bike rides. You might see buffalo, you might see deer. There's all kinds of wildlife there. So we're really looking forward to getting back up this summer. And everybody, especially if you've not been, don't hesitate to ask other members personally what their experiences. You know, if you don't get the information that you want through this instructional video that Eileen's put together, you know, people can give you their experiences and what they found works and doesn't work, you know, and that fits in with the kind of experience that you guys want to have. So with that, I'll say thank you very much and look forward to seeing you this summer. And one more thing that Eileen and I were talking about, a really good idea before you go is to check on the weather. That time of year, end of July, beginning of August, we still get a lot of northwesterly winds coming down and it can get pretty nasty out there. You can go on buoyweather.com and you'll get a 3 free-day weather check, and it'll tell you. If you need it more than that, you can join, you know, and pay the fees. But you get a 3 free-day weather check, and it'll give you an idea. So, I mean, if you're set, hey, we're leaving Saturday morning, that's when we're going to go, and you find out, oh man, it's going to be, you know, 8-foot seas and 25-knot winds. You may not want to go, but because you look and you go, well, Monday it's going to be down to, you know, 3-foot seas and 6-knot winds. So I would much rather wait a couple days, because one time several years ago, a bunch of club members went up and they got their butts kicked. They just basically all got their butts kicked. It was horrible weather, and it came up really quick. So anyway, check the weather, have an idea what you're going to be experiencing on your way up. It'll make your trip a lot better.
Alrighty, Paul's gonna give us a demonstration. Pretend he's on the front of the boat, on the bow of the boat in Avalon, or in Two Harbors. He's picking up the pin. He's going to try and get the sand line. First, he'll secure the rope onto the bow of the boat. Then he's got that nice hook, and he's going to go back with the sand line to the stern of the boat and secure that and make the appropriate move with the ropes to make sure it's secure. And that's it. He makes it look pretty easy, but it might take a little bit of practice.
When I showed my demonstration, I show you the carabiner at Home Depot for under $10. But I did.
All right, here's some comments for those first-time visitors to the Two Harbors Isthmus area, so that makes your arrival a little less stressful. And we'll start off by, so when you're coming in, as you come up the coast of the island and approaching the Two Harbors area, you'll first see Bird Rock. You can pass Bird Rock on either side, doesn't make much difference, but do be aware that there's a pretty good reef extending out to the south from the rock. It's marked at the end by a fixed day marker, pretty easy to see. Do not try and cross over the reef. Avoid that. You should be looking at your chart now just to make sure that you've got a good perspective on where that reef is. It bites a few people every year, so don't be one of them. As you past Bird Rock, you'll now see the mooring coves. Isthmus will be the most easterly one. There's 4th of July Cove, small one off to your right, and then further to your right is Cherry Cove. Somewhere out in the area, just outside of the mooring areas, will be a Gray Harbor Patrol boat, and they'll be assigning moorings. So you can raise them on channel 9. Switch your radio to channel 9. As you come around the corner there at Bird Rock, and be listening, you can get a pretty good idea of what's happening with mooring assignments. And the only really busy time where you might not get a mooring would be Friday afternoon to Saturday afternoon or evening. Arriving on Sunday anytime, pretty much assured you're going to have mooring, so don't get stressed out about it. Just you can call the Harbor Patrol on Channel 9 and just say, Isthmus Harbor Patrol, this is in your boat's name, requesting a mooring assignment. The other coves, the same procedure. They may be the same boat, but they will be alerted to which cove you're looking for if you'll just say Isthmus Cove, 4th of July Cove, Cherry Cove, Harbor Patrol. If it's busy, they may take a few seconds to get back to you. If you don't hear back from them, 30 seconds or so, give them another call. When they get to you, they're going to be asking you a few questions. First, are you sailor powered? How long are you? And then how many nights? The one thing you want to have available for them right now is either your CF numbers or your documentation numbers. They're going to want that before they can proceed. So once that information is passed along, they'll give you an assignment to one of the coves. And digressing here just for a second, just making sure that we've got the right nomenclature, you won't look like too much of a newbie, is the area on land is 2 harbors. It's a little community. It's a company-owned town by the Catalina Island Company. It has the general store, restaurant and bar, laundry, and other facilities. The cove in front of you, right in front of the 2 harbors, is Isthmus Cove. And on the other side of the isthmus is Catalina Harbor, or more commonly referred to as Cat Harbor. The other coves, 4th of July and Cherry Cove, they all pretty much use the same Harbor Patrol boats. So reach them by that. Don't call the Harbor Patrol 2 Harbors Harbor Patrol. Make you look like a real newbie. So once you've spoken to them, you can pay the Harbor Patrolman for your mooring right then, or you can go up to the pier later and pay for your assignment. And if you're the first time visitor, first time picking up a mooring can, it can be a little intimidating. But just remember, every boat you see out there had a first time. That's, everybody's had to learn how to do it once. So if you're a little nervous, ask for them to give you a hand. They'll stand by if there's any problem. They'll assist you. No shame in asking for a little help. Yeah. Final thought: if you're coming up and you're arriving at the island in the afternoon, you may be beating into a pretty good wind and wave chop off the island there. If that's the case and you're getting all beat up, you've just passed Avalon, think about pulling into White's Landing and spending the day there, or the evening, and then heading up the next morning to the isthmus. That run from Long Point to the isthmus late in the afternoon can be really nasty, and might be a good idea just to pull into one of the other coves before, relax, and enjoy a quiet evening. And that's about it. I think if you have a little preparation, look at your chart, and be listening to the radio, you'll have a good idea of what the situation is. So have a good voyage, and we'll look for you over in the island.
Also, don't forget to fly your birdie while we're over in 2 Harbors. So as we all dinghy around, we can see who our fellow yacht club members are. And we always have great representation there. Looking forward to about 30-something boats to be going this summer during that 2-week time span. All right.
But I forgot to tell you something more important. Don't forget your gloves. Thank you.